Hi everybody, welcome to my channel Armed Heart. My name is Aurora and I am going to share some information that's been coming to me for a while now, and I've called it the Great Reveal. This is an update in terms of how things are as they are right now. In this I'd like to just give you a short sort of idea of what it is that we're looking in, and this is not a particular warning or anything like that, just some ideas and thoughts that have been coming through with regards to how the system has been progressing. So it's like an update. We are now in the process of reviewing all things. I call it the Great Reveal. Breaking down of the old scripted patterns and the revealing of all things in its authentic presence, and how you see things with an authentic eye and an authentic being, how you will be seeing things in its authentic self. That means you'll be able to see things for what they really are, for what it really is, and people for who they really are. Perhaps this may also indicate at some point where things will be a little upside down as well, where you thought you knew this person and you're seeing something else, or you may be thinking that you knew this particular study method of some spirituality or whatever, and it's turned out to be better, or it's turned out to be completely not what you wanted to do. So expect these kinds of emotional things coming through to indicate to you its authentic self. A few things just to help for you to go through all of this is to learn to discern, and a good way to practice this is to feel what you're sensing through your heart. Open your eyes and see things for what it represents. Don't look at things in an objective manner. Experience things in an objective frequency, so that you are able to discern what feels connected to the heart of the understanding of awareness and Great Spirit that you're connected to, and which is not. Remember that this is an artificial construct that we are in, and what is breaching through the origin is an original energy of a greater cosmos, or an energy of a greater existence of Great Spirit. It's basically, remember in previous videos I've discussed and said that the planet and this universe is a constructed artificial construct based on specific hierarchies that we've discussed previously. And what's happening now, because we are original beings inside our bioorganic avatars, if we are experiencing our original authentic self, seeing and knowing who we truly are, that we are systematically drawing in along with we're drawing into this world a more true authentic presence. And this means that it's like a whale coming out of the sea, something that is very graceful and majestic. That is what we're going. That is how we are going through this experience, this age right now. That's why I say we are Great Spirit, but we are also a greater cosmos. And in that way, that's how we are bringing all these things through. And when we're becoming more authentic and true in ourselves and in our nature of who we are, that means either you're experiencing a full potential of who you are, or you're learning now for the first time to experience your full potential, that you're bringing it into this constructed world. And this bringing in of authentic energy is the event horizon, or the horizon of the event. We are the event. And the more of us that are bringing this information through, just by being more in connection with ourselves and with our hearts, the more we're bringing that into this world by our experiencing ourselves in that way, we are systematically breaking down the artificial constructed layers of, let's say, typecasting or scripted environments. So we are basically creating this. Also, something very interesting to look into is all things are always inside, and that this is why whatever you're going to experience in a physical manner is a reflection or a cast projection of what is within. So reconsider what works and what doesn't work. Reconsider how you see yourself, being aware that there are, or there will be, aspects where you will need to see who you are, where you fit in, and all of those things. In fact, if you had to question yourself where you fit in, that would be the wrong way to go about it. It's rather, how do all of these things fit in with you? And this is to do with, if you're in a higher state of heart consciousness, then is there room for a relationship, for example, that has never assisted and never complemented the heart? So you will be going through these things in the same way, where you'll be starting to question, is this true, is this false? If it's false, then move away from that. When you move away from that, you remove the power of your focus away from that specific event or that aspect or that energy, and you're bringing it more towards yourself, because you're striving to find authenticity as you are already authentic within yourself. Another thing to think about is the Great Reveal suggests how all things may appear to be, and seeing it breaking down in the system. You're seeing breaking down of the artificial system, irrespective of all of the technology that's coming in and that's showing that you can fly this and that, and it's virtual reality, and it's all of that stuff, all of those things. That's all physical, technological progress as it is, but be mindful what the agenda is always behind whatever it is that is being shown or displayed to you. Another thing to be aware of is that you will be experiencing a process that you will feel you need to discard things that don't suit you anymore, that's not relevant to you anymore, clearing out of all energies and old habits. That's why I call this the Great Reveal, because the Great Reveal gives you the opportunity now until into the next year, that where all masks are coming off, the facade or masks are coming off. At times you will see through the cleansing of the fire or the watery liquid cleansing. So we are going to be experiencing two particular fields of energy as it is working together right now, and it has to do with water and fire, which is also to do with what is above and what is below. So if the belly is connected to fire, then experience energy being in a more fortifying sort of process, and water meaning which is perhaps in the heavens, where things will become more emotional, you'll be more spiritual, you'll be more energetically connected to all things that are spirit and that are emotional, and will always make you question things in how you feel. So when I say heart consciousness, just to brush up on that for anyone who may be seeing this for the first time, there is a video in the beginning of the channel where it explains what armed heart is. Armed heart has to do with the heart consciousness of all things, which means being consciously aware that you are connected to your heart, and that your heart energy as such, not the pump station that's within you, creates a sense of energy around you. It's basically the door for your soul to be connected to, for your spirit to be connected into the soul. So that's how that works. Okay, physical form, the avatar, bioenergetic avatar, which is allowing protocols of the spirit to interact through the soul and through the avatar, just for interest's sake. Be mindful that the artificial constructed world that has been piggybacking on the original world is also busy working constructively to draw into itself what also adds to its own existence, because AI is artificial and it is artificial intelligence. So it's gathering intel and gathering data, how we respond to things, how we react to things. So be mindful in how you respond to things. Be mindful how you feel about yourself. So taking note about how you feel and the work that you need to do on yourself. Be aware that you need to start doing work on your self-esteem. Realize that the self-esteem is, and that is a very strong integral aspect that requires a lot of research and a lot of clearing up of old contracts where you've agreed to, where you may have not been aware that you've agreed to. So if you have a low self-esteem in terms of you hate yourself, then revoke the contract and say, revoke and make null and void the contract of agreeing that I am unloved. Keep that in mind. Work on that. This is very important. The self-esteem is something that breaks us all down, whether we've cleared it or not. It is in every single thing, in every person that is experiencing life on this world, that it is something that challenges us in everything that we do. Also, something else. You have to take note that the great reveal is not something to do with revelation, but a revolution. Take note that as you revolve and adjust to new things, the new ideas, that some ideas may be synergistic or symbiotic to your process. In other words, and simply put, be mindful that whatever you're thinking, your ideas, these things may run alongside you like horses run together for a greater cause, and some may be completely different. So your life path will be different. Your life path will be uniquely adjusted to you every single moment of your thoughts of how you feel about yourself. You are adjusting your life path. If you miss the fact that you do not see the information coming from your higher self, then I suggest, it is suggested rather, that you track back where you felt you've lost it and revoke and clear and deal with your shadows, because that will come up, especially when you're going through the questioning of the self and the questioning of what is being revealed to you. Masks off. No more masks. No more things that are hidden. Things that will be open to you. This is not anything to do with disclosure or nothing like that. This is just purely to do with what you're seeing and seeing it for what it is. That it is something that is ringing true and to your heart energy, and for you going forward in your higher consciousness or not. If it's not supporting you, then move away from that. That is as simple as that. And if you're in a long-term relationship and you've been living in an abused relationship for many, many years, then now is the time for you to readdress how you feel about yourself and whether you think you are worthy of that particular abuse. But that is something for relationship aspects for us to delve into it perhaps at another time. I wanna urge you to really question everything and not just to accept everything for face value. Make notes, write your dreams down, question all things, whatever you're feeling. Just remember that what you're feeling, there's an important thing about this. If you feel something in your heart, if you feel anger, or if you feel this or this or that, if there is something that makes you feel reactive, then that is what you need to deal with. You need to take then the opposite of that specific aspect and deal with that. So if you're feeling emotionally reactive towards the weather, then what is the reaction? Is it fear? Then what is the opposite of fear? Bravery, right? So then, or courage. Then deal with the fact that you feel that you have no courage to deal with anything. Then work on that. That's how you work and fix things up inside of your heart. Inside of your heart of understanding, and your heart consciousness of who you are. Remember that your avatar form is integrated to this world. So, but you are still in control of your avatar form that you're existing in. Expect that all things you know in terms of energy and beings, and perhaps channelings and visions and previous energy feeds, may have been fractalized or not. So trust your internal heart and weigh up what you know and what you feel. So decide intuitively and within your course of going forward that you also do not just eliminate what does not feel right just because you feel angry or reactive to that, but that you are objective. In this, you may have to deal with your shadows and see previous videos on how you deal with your shadows and how the shadow workings affect us. It's things that have not been resolved. So someone may say something and you feel, yeah, can't deal with that, but I keep on wanting to listen to this person. Then that is exactly why you're needing to deal with your shadows, because your higher consciousness is saying to you, keep on listening to this because this may assist you. You're seeking help, but you're kicking against it. So there's your answer. That's how you'll be able to discern. Okay, so know that the event horizon is a wave of energy, light and electromagnetic frequency that works through us and around us. In other words, our environment that we're in, our energies are integrating into this field, and we are challenging ourselves towards our and sort of weighing up our authentic selves of who we are. It's almost like an Egyptian where Maat uses the feather, and Egyptian mythology where the feather is used for you to weigh up who you are and what you've done and to go forward. The feather is symbolic with regards to the mind or the higher consciousness. The feathers or the wings of Hermes or the higher consciousness. Just that is for mythological ideas, thoughts I'm sharing with you. Also something else, expect time to be in a flurry. It's all over the place, because as the constructed world is adjusting to its own processing of how it perceives scripts or how it's gathering data, that it uses linear time to do so, and perhaps using digital and analog data to construct the linear time. Okay, remember this is artificial intelligence that's using that particular aspect. So expect things to feel as if they're timeless in a sense, to be affected. Know that we are timeless. We are not bound by time. We are, as higher conscious beings, in a timed existence for an avatar, but we are essentially eternal. Love is timeless. Love is eternal. Great Spirit is timeless or eternal. We are adjusting in our bioorganic avatars, and our souls are updating and reconfiguring, to use those terms, with the higher frequency that is coming through from our higher consciousness or script, or spirit or Great Spirit. Remember, we are Great Spirit in multiple forms. Keeping cool and keep warm. Keep your minds and your hearts in sync with love. And even if it's in the smallest of gesture, seek what feels in sync with you. Remember that where the heart is, there is true transparency. Truth is transparent, and it is there, and in all expectations and gestures, and that there is no need to feel vulnerable when you are in the presence of truth, because you have nothing to fear. Remember who you are. That is why you have nothing to fear. Much love to you all, and thank you for your support throughout the time. And be good and love yourself, and think about who you are and where you would like to go towards. And thank you again for all your support for us all to go forward, and that we are in the process of going and growing forward and upward in a higher consciousness. Thank you very much. Much love.